Um, Nellie is an author. She's the owner of Integrating Technology, and she is also the person responsible for letting us use her platform here on WizIQ. And we thank you for that. And if that's not enough, she's one of the advisors for EFL Talks and one of the people who helped me get it started. So, with that, Nellie, thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Rob, and thank you, everyone, for being on the call with Rob and for your hard work in this EFL Talks. So, as much as I am a person who believes in face-to-face interactions, I also use technology. And the reason I started using technology was because I didn't like the desks. And as Lucy mentioned, I prefer a different arrangement. But sometimes it's really hard. It's hard if you can figure out how to get these desks into a circle where there are only chairs in the circle. Let me know in the chat box, because sometimes it's really hard to get into a circle, which is what I prefer. So the only way that we can get our students communicating is maybe, as was mentioned by the father, I don't remember your name, of the young boy in bilingual classes or at home, is to sit with our students like this. But is that possible where you are in your school? Can you sit like this with 2 students, maybe 3? And help them, which is actually ideal. But can you do it? And maybe this would be a lot easier for some of you to get your students feeling really, really comfortable in a face-to-face situation such as this and work in groups. Now, this is really the ideal way, and it's my way of doing things, but it doesn't happen when I have 36 to 40 young learners in the classroom. And I'm talking about 7 to 14-year-olds, grade 7, sorry, not 7, but 12 to 14-year-olds, grade 7 to grade 9. So my classes are really big. So what do I do? How do I get everyone engaged and doing things in the classroom? So because I believe in face-to-face classes, I decided to go online and have the students work at home so that in the classroom, I can sit in a circle. They don't need their blackboards. And we can sit in teams too. I can break the classroom up into small groups of 6 times 6 for the 36, or for the 40, 10 times 4, or 4 times 10, or 5 times 8, and walk around in the classroom. But then again, we can only discuss things. It's very hard to write. So in order to get the most of both worlds, the face-to-face and the online, and not spend a lot of money, I decided to go for Moodle. I don't know how many of you have heard of Moodle. If you could just add in the chat box, have you heard of Moodle? I know you've heard of WizIQ, which is what I use with adults. I've got yes. Now you might say, well, how can you use Moodle with young learners, with 12-year-olds or even 11-year-olds? Well, it's possible, and it's even encouraged. If you can get a Moodle website at your school, you'll see that it's possible to do a lot of individual and collaborative work straight from your classroom. You can show them how in the face-to-face class. They can use their phones. By the way, how many of your students use smartphones? If you could let me know in the chat. Hi, Eva. Good to see you. Use smartphones because I use both. The students use both their phones, and if they don't have internet, I connect them from my phone through hotspots so that everybody can have their internet. They just need to make sure that their phones are charged and they can use it. I see some here. They can use it in the classroom because sometimes the video room is not available and sometimes the computers don't work that well, but our smartphones really work well. So these are some of the tools that I use. Moodle can be used as a collaborative. I can have teams on the Moodle, which is what I do, but you can also have individuals. I use Google Drive for the collaborative and individual work with students where I can help them with their writing. I do most of the spoken work in the classroom, but the written work they practice at home using Moodle. I also use Quizlet so they can create their own Quizlet and practice vocabulary in different ways and have fun. They can also share their Quizlet, whatever they've done, with the others in the classroom. I also use the Padlet wall. I don't know if you're familiar with it. I use the Padlet wall so we can collaborate there too. They can add photos, they can add their audio, their video. So it's just another way, and I add everything to the Moodle. In addition, they can speak or sing. If they want to sing, they can actually add their voices through Poodle on the Moodle directly from the editor. So Poodle allows you, my students, to record their voices. They can also create videos. They can add their photos to their messages and share it. Now you might say, well, I've got WhatsApp. Well, so do I. I have WhatsApp classes for all my students. And it's really a great way to connect, but it's hard to collaborate. And it gets very long and messy, and nobody finds anything. On the Moodle, it's all very, very organized. This is what one class looks like. The name of the book is Masterclass. There's the book right there. And actually the book, I added the book to the Moodle course that I have for the Masterclass so that all the topics are here. Okay, there's a matter of taste to life, literature that's there, the whole. These are the different units, but I also add my own. So here there's a writing practice. I also added healthy eating. This is this area where the students watch a video and then they create the same kind of video by showing me they prepare a dish. In this case, it was breakfast, healthy breakfast. And they all shared their videos right here. So they create videos, they share them, and they have a lot of fun. And this is something that you can't do at school. You can only do it at home or on your free time. So they can work in their breaks using their smartphones. What I get from all this is a lot of engagements. Nobody complains about homework. Nobody thinks that they have too much, even though they do a lot of work. And they're engaged with their phones in school. During the breaks, they're always doing something that's educational. And I'm really happy with that. So you can see some of the activities. There are discussion forums. They can also read aloud. And I encourage them to read aloud. There's also Wiki. Now the Wiki is a way to write individually or collaborative. So I have wikis, just like Wikipedia, where they can all add their input, whether it's text, audio, video, and they can all, or YouTube videos, of course. But I also have individual wikis where I work with them one-on-one. And the editor is always open for them to add their work. And this is an example of what the wiki looks like. Okay, this is the icon for the wiki. I added a text to show them a sample. This is a grade 9 class, so the level is a bit higher. for and against opinion essay with 4 paragraphs. And then what they need to do is, for example, the topic is giving homework. They need to give, and they came up with this, wasn't mine. They came up with some good points or advantages and some negative points. They need to come up with 3 positive or advantages and 3 negative or disadvantages of homework. And you can see, because I like them to have both sides. And then this is a sample of what a student wrote. Okay, first of all, they added their preparation and then the actual writing. Okay, very simple, not that complicated, but that's what I'd like them to be able to do, to write in a very simple way. And this is what I look for. These are my classes. This is a class, a grade 10 class. Over here, this is a grade 9 class. And this is what they do in the classroom. They're sitting, it's a very crowded, you can see how crowded they are, even though I don't like them to sit in rows, but they still are pretty crowded. They see each other's backs, which isn't really great for conversations. But they're able to work, as I said, on their phones, even in the classroom. This is a younger learner, and you can see this learner working on something through the computer in the computer room. And this is even younger learners. And they're also able to listen and work. Rob, you did not put a smiley so that I would know that the time was, but that's okay.